Hi, good morning. I'm Reese Rodriguez. I'm representing Valle this morning. Sorry, got here a little bit late.
We can see you guys and a little bit of you guys. So say good morning. Okay. You guys are up here in this corner. So you can see Kyle, you're not really in it. So you guys have to slide together. Slide together. Kyle, scooch that way. We're just readjusting, sorry. Let's scooch that way.
Hey, I'm not talking, so you better
Okay, keep going, Natalie, go that way. Yes, you are, you're tapping. There's a person and human being in front of you, Okay, so introduce yourselves. Kyle, say who you are. Everybody else is quiet. Kyle, nice and loud. Tell them where you're from.
Portland, Ohio.
I'm Rachel from Portland, Ohio.
Andrew from Camel, Ohio. Camel.
From Warren, Ohio.
No, wait.
Sorry, he's taking a picture. So I guess, are you guys starting with your speech or am I starting? Oh, okay. I guess I'll start. Well, today I will be addressing the pros of having longer school days. Now, education fever can be defined as a parental zeal or passion for providing their children with better chances for admission into prestigious universities. The education fever of parents in South Korea has resulted in students' participation in supplemental instruction offered by private persons or cramming institutions outside of school and after school hours. Education fever may have contributed to the Korean students' high academic achievements as shown in several international studies. Korean students have ranked among the first, second, and sixth places respectively among 27 OECD countries in 2012. This achievement has been credited to longer school days. Now, there are numerous pros that range from helping students get more work done to removing the need for external work like homework. Instead, we should spend more time to do work in the classroom and simply, instead of having more homework, having more hours in the day devoted to the classroom activity and have more hours of class, and that increases the potential for covering more subjects. In addition, every subject can be given more time, and students can take the content at a slower pace. Now, with the longer day, we can get completely rid out of homework. It's an interesting concept. Doing schoolwork out of school means having an opportunity to continue the lesson outside of the classroom. The challenge, however, is that not everyone has the time, materials, inclination, or correct habits to do homework successfully. These students will begin to fall behind in the educational process because they cannot keep up with the rest of the class. Now, with longer school days, we have better child supervision. A major problem caused by education systems are that we let out before parents get off to work. This means that parents are left to find things for their children to do until the parents come home. And with a longer school day, the amount of time between when parents come home and the children get off school shrinks. This means that there is less time for children to go out and get in trouble and instead use that time to invest in their education. Many after-school and before-school activities also provide children with necessary things. Before-school lunch programs provide kids with food so that they do not get through the school day hungry and they still get the most important meal of the day, which is breakfast. Now, some of the cons with longer school days would have to be, that's for you guys to address, my bad.
Okay, can you give us just a second, because they weren't really sure they were supposed to be like, they just started taking notes. So what did you guys grab so far as what you're hearing?
1, 2, 3, repeat that.
Okay, so more children's supervision.
I can repeat my points if you'd like, so you guys can just write them down.
Yeah, just go
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so my first contention was that with longer school days, we'd have more time in the classroom, which would grant students more time to invest in their studies and understand the concepts better. My second point was that the longer the day, no homework would be necessary because all work and questions would be addressed in school. And my third point was better supervision. Children would be more invested in their education within the classroom, and parents wouldn't have to worry about them getting in trouble outside of school.
Okay. So then you guys, of those things that she said, which do you have actual information in what you researched that you could use as a counter argument? That's what you're gonna talk about. Okay, so you wanna look at your plan. And the yellow sheet in front of you is kind of like a cheat sheet of like transition. So you could say, you said this, and this. However, have you considered, and then go to your note sheet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what did you find that one of these things to see? Kyle looks like he's dreading. Kyle, what do you got? Go ahead.
If it said that longer school days keep kids out of trouble, where's it at?
And then this is the camera, Kyle, right here. So when you're talking, I know it's easy to look over there. She's right here. So you know what I mean?
I read an article on a student named Alan Valle, and he participated in an extracurricular program at Seneca Valley High School in Maryland. And he said his program took him from a 1.0 grade point average to a 3.0 to come out of trouble from the law. So a shorter school day could allow more time for those activities.
Okay. So it's not necessarily the longer day that makes it that was in a shorter day. Okay. You guys want to add to that? What else do you have that's different from what she's saying? Or that refutes what she says?
Mr. Cohn from the Kelly School, he's a teacher at the Kelly School, Christian, and they were going for longer school days, which they have. More time does not equal achievement, and there is a cost to children's development in other areas, such as extracurricular sports or like just health.
School.
Okay. You guys have something like Rachel, you research sports and extracurricular. Do you want to piggyback off of what he started to talk about with that? Like as an example?
I read that there were students that were expelled from the local public schools and they had nowhere else to go. However, each student involved in their program showed a mark of improvement in their grades, and even their attitude towards school softened.
So what's that show?
It's showing that students are achieving better grades by doing extracurricular activities when they have time to. And not only are they improving their grades, but they're making them like a well-rounded person.
Can any of you speak from experience on that, as far as like having time to do extracurriculars versus a longer school day? Like how much time does it take to play football, Kyle, or practice for it? Would you have time if you had longer school day? Right, okay. Yeah, right. Now, lady, you have something to add from what you have that they didn't talk about yet?
Normally when I get home from school, I'm at the dinner table doing my homework for like hours and hours, pretty much until I go to sleep. So with longer school days, I would have less time to do my homework.
Okay, and then you guys look your evidence over and see if there's something that you wanted to talk about that you didn't get to yet, like points that you wanted to make. And then the rest of the room, you're going to want to think about all the things that she brought up. When it's your chance up here, are there things that you can refute based on your information? Okay. This may be our first debate, so they're learning right in front of you, if that's all right. Thanks for your patience.
Okay.
Can you hear them okay, or do they need to talk louder?
Oh, it's fine. I can hear them fine.
Awesome.
All right. Lawrence Bain is the chair of instructional leadership and academic curriculum at the University of Oklahoma. And she said the average score for an 8th grade American student on the mathematics portion of TMISS in 2003 was 502. In the contrast, the average Korean 8th grader scored 584. While many Americans suppose that Korean teachers require more from their students, in actual, Korean teachers assign 20 minutes less homework per week than their American counterparts.
So what's that showing, Rachel?
Children in Korea are achieving more by doing less. They are scoring better scores by giving their brains a rest.
Okay. Anybody else? You guys good? Okay, I think this group said what they needed to say to that point. So she's like, what do I do next?
So if you guys would, you guys want to proceed to the question period? Am I allowed to ask you some questions?
Yes.
And then you can ask me some questions?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right. Well, going on to the last ratio you mentioned, you said that Korean students are doing more by doing less, correct? And given in my speech, I did mention that yes, they're receiving no homework at all, but they are going to school longer, correct?
Is that what she said? She was asking. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So wouldn't you say that that would agree with my point? Yes, they are doing less, but at the same time, they are going to school longer.
So she's questioning you about the homework point of it. Like, one of her points for longer school days is there would be less homework. Did you guys find anything about that being true or false?
Yeah.
So how do we argue against that point then that she's made? Does anybody else have ideas about it? Yeah, what do you got, Sadie? Do you want to come up and yeah. Like Rachel, you want to let Sadie sit down for a second? She has something. We're going to grab one more student. She has an idea.
Some teachers always give homework no matter what, so that they can have time to practice out of the classroom.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask you a question. What's the purpose of school in general?
To learn.
To learn. And looking at the statistics and several research that many researchers have done on Korean schools, they have found that due to, if we go a little bit into psychology, due to the spacious effect, we better learn information by spacing information, and we make the content more approachable by spacing it out in time. Now that is why we should spend more time in schools, because like Korean schools, they spend more hours in school and don't give any homework at all, because all questions and any kind of things they wouldn't understand are addressed in the classroom. That was written in my speech. You agree, right? Okay.
See, we're conceding that point. Anybody going to argue against that idea? Do you guys want to rotate a new group in for the next section? Okay. So take your things. We're just going to get another group up here to join the conversation. You're just going to come up. Just come up and sit. And you're going to pick up where that group left off. Okay, let's make it fast. Fast transition. You should be seated in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, they're muted. What's wrong? Oh, okay. Is this? Why is it? I can't hear you guys. I think you guys are muted.
Yeah.
I think it might be your computer, like the video conference, because I can't hear anything. It's muted.
Here's Untitled Chapter. Okay. But see, I think they're on computers, so that might be the case, because they just changed groups, and when they change groups, the whole thing dropped. We can see them, but we can't hear them. So I just wanted to make sure that they're still got input, you know what I'm saying? Before I did, or I don't want to do that one time and it was us, it was off. Sorry to be a nuisance, but since this is their first time, I don't. I think they're just using laptops and all of them, which may not be the best, or maybe overloaded their. Yeah. Okay. Unmute us.
We're unmuted.
What?
We're unmuted. We're not muted.
Okay. Now, can you hear them? Ask if you can, see if you can hear them. That's good. Ohio, can you hear us?
Good.
Yeah, they got the thumbs up. They just can't. We're trying to get the tech person to fix it. Tell them.
We can't hear you guys. I don't know if it has to do with your computer maybe, or if is your microphone off.
Yeah, Ohio, you may want to look down there where the microphone is, the little icon, just kind of hover your mouse over the window, and there's that little caret symbol. Click on that and see if there is a different microphone listed there, and try that. And yeah, I'm not hearing you, still not hearing you. And make sure that there's not a line to the microphone, which I don't believe it is. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Now we got you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So we're good.
You can go ahead and start.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and start. Following your arguments.
Why don't you guys tell them the actual piece of statement we came up with, like overarching? Go ahead.
Reading, writing, and sitting for so long can cause health issues. It can also lead to depression and anxiety. I would always come home from elementary school with a really bad headache from reading and writing and like staring at the paper or a computer for so long. And my mom suffers from the same thing because she's a teacher. So this just goes to show how so many kids are now affected by this because of the school day.
Uh-oh, we can't hear them. There we go.
I read on the website that a study has been done that that there's at least 20% of teens that have at least one episode of depression before adulthood, and who's to say that couldn't involve school?
Sitting for very long periods of time can lead to very serious health problems in the future. So findings presented at the 2015 inaugural Active Working Summit also found that sitting increases lung cancer by 54%, uterine cancer by 66%, and colon cancer by 30%.
So how does that relate to what you're talking about, Avery?
If we sit for so long, it increases our risk of major diseases that nobody should get on a regular basis. So in school, when we sit for 5 hours or more, it increases our risk of everything that is bad to our bodies.
So then what did you want to add?
Well, I had another study by Dr. James Levine, the co-director of the Mayo Clinic and Arizona State University Obesity Initiative. It says when you sit, blood flows slower and muscles burn less fat, which makes it easier for fatty acids to calm your heart, which is just confirming what she said.
Will you have anything to add?
Should I just turn on my phone from writing?
I have a bump on my finger from writing for so long, and I don't know if it's ever gonna cause any issues, but I have one, and it just keeps getting worse. I do.
When we were studying debates, we talked about how real life stories can be persuasive. So some of them are using their own personal experiences as persuasion. So
You guys can ask me questions if you want to, and then I guess I'll go on to my next speech.
did you guys want to ask questions based on the notes that you took from when she talked originally about what she was saying? Points that she brought up that you would like to question her about, question the reasoning and the logic. What about better childhood supervision or something? Or that might be their battle.
Sorry, that was a 10-minute bell. We have 10 minutes before school starts.
Well, thanks for joining us before school starts. So if you guys, I realize you don't have evidence on those particular points, but what do you say back to those things? If this were just another student in our class arguing questions, what would you say back to those things that she brought up? What do you have here? Yeah, you get to ask questions to question the things that she brought up.
Yeah.
So what about so you could question that. You could say, you mentioned about better child supervision. Have you considered that, right?
Okay, so you mentioned that the longer school days will mean better child supervision, right? So have you ever thought that maybe kids will still get in trouble no matter what time they get out?
I suggested it based on statistics shown from a study on Korean schools. Like I said, every kid is different, so we don't know how it could affect. However, statistics show that it's a really good solution, and it really shows a lot of positive feedback from it. Parents are happy, students are happy, teachers are happy.
not in Korea.
Oh, I know we're not in Korea. I mean, looking at our education system, it's not exactly Korea's. Korea is known to be one of the, it's a first world powerhouse when it comes to intelligence. Like I said, it ranked in the first, second, and sixth places in an EODC competition in 2012. I have a question regarding your speech. So I think two of your council members mentioned some issues that come with anxiety and homework. Like I said before, and I think one of your co-councils from the last team answered it. If we don't have homework, then we wouldn't have anxiety. So therefore, that would agree with my point, because one of my contentions was that if we're in school longer, we wouldn't need homework. Correct?
That's true.
So would you agree with my point?
Yes.
Is there a purpose to have homework? Does homework allow for something that more school time wouldn't? Like, what about we discussed a little bit about the flipped classroom model. What if you brought that up? Do you remember how, like, some of your teachers are trying that in order to give you more, like, where you're actually, like, that's a solution that is in opposition to what she's bringing up about homework, right? So can somebody explain that?
I don't know
how that works?
Isn't it when, like, they give kids more time, like, they have to figure it out on their own?
So you watch the lesson at home, but you do the homework at school, and so therefore you just move it on.
So there is this new thing that people are coming up with. It's called flipped classroom, where kids watch the lesson at home and they do the homework on their own. So if we didn't have homework, there would be no way for us to further our education by figuring it out on our own and struggling, because if we have someone holding our hand and taking us along all the steps all the time, then we're never going to be able to take a test on our own. And I mean, in college, there's nobody that will do that for you. So,
right. I think, well, like you said and you mentioned, flip lessons can be very useful, especially for us as we are very used to using technology by this point. However, I do believe that, like I mentioned in my speech, if we spend more time in the classroom, which was my first contention, we have more time to ask questions and really understand the concept in the classroom. So we can ask as many questions and spend as many time as we want in that certain subject with that certain teacher. So in the end, at the end of the day, you wouldn't have to worry about homework. I think that was a topic that we covered right now. If you like, I can go on to my third speech.
sure.
Okay, well, I'd like to start off by saying that today we won for the main three reasons. That being that they attempted to address my points. However, again, they admitted in the rounds of questioning to agreeing to two of my points, so therefore dropping their points. I never got a clear three main contentions that they were arguing today when it comes to their point. And the results of the data are complete in this area. All of the statistics and research I provided are of a reliable source. And South Korea has been one of the leading world countries when it comes to education. Average student will go to high schools from 7 to 4, and then cram school from 5 to 11 years of age and 5 days a week. On Saturday, it is an 8 to 4 cram school, and then every other Sunday it's an 8 to 4 as well. Overall, they have a lot of time that they spend inside of school, and they would have an equal of about 250 days of school each year compared to 160 days in the U.S. This amount is almost 64% in time in school each year for students in South Korea, and really does make a difference, especially when we're looking into college admissions and such, when we're comparing them to a U.S. student and a Korean student. So that being said, there has been logical fallacy of excluding the middle made by my opponent, as they did grant several answers, and they also mentioned several problems that come with the issue at hand. However, they did drop the issue when they agreed with my 2 points by saying that if we don't have to worry about homework, then there really is no issue with longer school days. Thank you. You guys can go on to your third speech.
Yeah, we're gonna grab another group and pull them up to bring some new information.
Change the class and get Antonio.
Well, yeah, I finished the third speech.
What?
I just deleted.
You actually do it for real, but I mean today you. It's a practice. No. She's got the class.
I'm gonna trade with a co-counsel. Is that okay with you for the last questioning period? You can ask any questions to him also once you're done with your speech. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. I'll trade with my co-counsel. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Antonio Ortega.
Let's see.
Let's go, guys. Want to come over and talk to you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, no, we haven't both up. Yeah. So, you want to These are. Well,
Just grab a chair. Let's go.
They're gonna present some stuff, ask you questions about longer day. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ohio.
I think we're on mute.
No, we're not. Yeah, we'll go for a longer day. I actually have a speech to make sure I can email it. Okay. You guys are on mute again somehow. Check your settings again.
Can I hear?
Yeah, that's a problem. They can't see you. The camera's over
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, go ahead, Taylor.
Longer school days prevent kids from getting the recommended amount of physical activity, and federal health officials recommend that children take part in at least 1 hour of physical activity. But with longer school days, some of that can't be possible because by the time they get out of school, they'll have homework and other things to do, spend time with their family or multiple things. And a lot of kids try to take part in physical sports or any other type of thing, but with longer school days, they won't have time to do any of that.
So they, in small, Caleb's getting ready to talk, but in small groups, what they did was they chose one angle of the conversation, and so all 4 of these people researched the same idea. So they're sort of part of a bigger, kind of, they're making one point together is what they're doing.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Okay, so Caleb has something to add.
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Is the purpose of school sports?
School sports and school causes a lot of stress and anxiety and depression, like the other group said. But physical activity can help not only with your like physical appearance and other things, but it can also affect you mentally, meaning it can reduce the amount of stress that you have on you. And
How do you guys speak to her question though? Is school about sports? That's a good question. How do we come back from that question? Okay, so no, but, or no, however, right? What do you say back to them?
But I mean, you need exercise and you need something to take stress off of maybe your homework or something that's happening at school. I mean, school can't be your whole life.
What is the purpose of education?
To learn. There's some lessons like in life that you can't learn inside of the school.
does learning take place outside of school?
Okay, can you repeat that because your sound system it's a little fuzzy. So can you repeat that, please?
Does learning really take place outside of school?
If you make the school life, don't you have to do it?
Well, yes, learning does take place out of school, and as in such as every day of coping and learning how to deal with situations in real life. And so doesn't learning to deal with stress go along with that?
Okay. So if you practice, will you continuously get better, correct?
Yes, no. I think they're on.
I think we're on. I'm on.
I think they're on mute again.
That was not okay.
Oh. All right. What is the purpose of school?
Can you check your speaker system again? We can't hear you. Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. So what we were asking about before you guys brought in another member is the questioning part. If they concede like if they say yes to your questions, does that mean they're giving in to that point? Or should they be trying to argue that right then also? Because we've not done a formal debate before, so.
Okay, I'll give you a big clue. They're trying to ask you almost trapping questions that you would concede, although they try to build upon it later. But the three people you see before you are about as new as the three people that you have in front of you. So we are learning this together, okay?
Awesome, okay.
So that's why I was trying to have them ask some questions that keep on going back. Duncan Starkich.
All right. What is the purpose of school?
The purpose of school is to learn and to develop later skills in life that you'll need.
Okay. Is the best way to learn by practicing?
Lessons sometimes learned by practicing, but some of the biggest lessons in life are learned when failure is looked into the equation.
Even if they can feel it.
What do you do in sports?
In sports, you can learn discipline, teamwork, and different social skills that you can't necessarily learn while you're in school trying to learn.
But you only learn that through practicing and figuring things out, right?
Yeah.
You need time to do that. With a longer school day, you want.
So you learn by being on task, basically, right?
You can't learn a certain task if you don't have time to do it.
Well, you're in school, isn't that what the time is made for? The time in school is so that you can be on task and practice and learn?
There are lessons to be learned outside of school that cannot be taught in school. You won't have time to do that if you have a longer school day.
Oh.
Our bell is about to ring, so we just want to make sure that we thank you for debating with us. It's been really fun. I don't want you to think like that they're just.
Of course, now the thing that I was going to say just comes into mind.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you, Texas.
Bye.
Okay, you guys can leave your note sheets. I'll get those tomorrow, okay? If you didn't